Welcome to the Midnight Burn. I'll be your guide tonight as we travel to yet another gruesome homicide case. When two young souls vanished into Mississippi darkness, their families had no idea they were about to enter a nightmare that would stretch across years and reveal monsters hiding in plain sight. Picture this: Quitman County, Mississippi, where cotton fields stretch endless under October skies and secrets fester in small houses scattered along dirt roads. Keith Coleman Jr. wasn't just your average drug dealer. He was a man who collected women like trophies and treated human life like currency. Chelsea Golden, Sierra Wheeler, Rachel Russell, all lived under his twisted web of control. And then there was Jamie Lynn Tubbs, a woman who traded her body for methamphetamine and would soon trade her soul for revenge. But our story really begins with April Jones and Will Polk, two people whose only crime was being in the wrong place, trusting the wrong people, and having something Keith Coleman wanted back. Early October 2019, Coleman's drug stash vanishes from the Crowder house. $18,000 worth of methamphetamine, gone, along with his guns. Now who do you blame when your empire crumbles? Coleman pointed his finger at April Jones and Will Polk. But here's the thing about paranoid drug dealers. They don't need proof. They need targets. And Jamie Tubbs, she had her own reasons to want April Jones dead. Best friends turned bitter enemies over a man named Dustin Smith. Hell, they say, hath no fury like a woman scorned. The plan was simple, deceptively simple. Tubbs would pick up April under the pretense of going to Taco Bell, just two friends grabbing late-night food. Except April wasn't stupid. Don't start no shit, she warned Tubbs. But when Will Polk insisted on coming along, their fate was sealed. Meanwhile, Coleman was orchestrating something far more sinister. He forced Chelsea Golden to help by pointing a gun at their 4-year-old son, Keith III. Think about that. A man threatening to murder his own child to ensure compliance in a double homicide. October 19th, 11 at night. There's a staged breakdown in an agricultural field off Butler Road. Golden's car sits there, hood popped, and Coleman's hidden in the tree line with a gun. Tubbs pulls up with April, Will, and Desmond Green. She parks right next to the decoy vehicle. Everybody gets out, thinking they're just gonna help. And that's when Keith Coleman comes out of the darkness, like something straight out of a horror movie. He grabs April and drags her from the car, then just starts beating her with his pistol. Tubbs hands Golden a .22 rifle, cocks it, and tells her to hold it on Will. But Golden, she refuses. She keeps that gun pointed at the ground even as Coleman starts shooting. April tries to run, but Coleman shoots her multiple times and she falls right there in the field. Will throws his hands up, begging, swearing he won't tell anybody. And Coleman just looks at him and says, "I know," then puts a bullet in his chest. What happened next defies human decency. Coleman and Tubbs returned to the Butler Road house with machetes, masks, and kerosene from Walmart. They dismembered April and Will, chopped off their heads and hands. But here's what will chill you to the bone. Tubbs found dismembering April Jones funny. She laughed while cutting off her former best friend's head. When investigators asked what she'd tell the families, Tubbs said she'd do it again because April deserved it. Yet when it came to Will Polk, a man she'd once loved, she said she didn't want to participate in cutting him up. The horror didn't end there. Coleman threw April's severed head and hands into a backpack and hurled it into a large slough behind the Butler Road house. And in perhaps the most disturbing detail of all, Coleman showed his girlfriend Sierra Wheeler a photograph of one of the victim's dismembered remains on his phone before instructing her to burn their clothes. For nearly 2 years, April and Will's families lived in agony. No answers, no closure, just empty chairs at dinner tables and questions that haunted their sleep. Then Chief Deputy Peter Clinton, a former FBI agent, took over cold cases in February 2021. When Coleman tried to escape jail after hearing his name mentioned in connection with the murders, he sealed his own fate. During transport back from Arkansas, Coleman broke. He led investigators to the agricultural field, to the spot where human remains, a skull, hands, and a ring, told the final chapter of this nightmare. In 2023, after legal delays and Brady violations, Jamie Lynn Tubbs and Keith Coleman Jr. faced justice. The jury saw through Coleman's desperate attempt to blame Chelsea Golden for the murders. They convicted both defendants on all counts. Tubbs received consecutive life sentences for the murders, plus 3 years for desecrating human corpses. She'll die in prison, as she should. 2 young lives snuffed out over drugs and jealousy. A 4-year-old threatened by his own father. A woman who laughed while dismembering her former best friend. The Mississippi Delta has seen its share of darkness, but few cases reveal the depths of human evil like this one. When greed, drugs, and personal vendettas collide, innocent people pay the ultimate price. Every action sets other actions in motion. Coleman and Tubbs thought they could control the outcome, manipulate the pieces, orchestrate the perfect crime. But truth has a way of surfacing, even from the murky depths of a Delta slough. Every choice they made, every lie they told, every piece of evidence they tried to hide, it all came tumbling down in the end. The consequences of their evil continue to ripple outward, touching families, communities, and all who hear this story. Some forces, once set in motion, can never be stopped. Until next time, catch the dice, they rollin'.